Good morning, family. This is Ricky, and welcome to Hope for Today. Happy Friday, everybody. I pray that it has been a joyous and wondrous week for you. And if it wasn't a joyous and wondrous week, I trust that the Lord got you through it because he's faithful. And as we come to Psalm 23, that's essentially what David has been celebrating these last 2 weeks, that our God is a faithful God. He's a faithful shepherd, that he leads us. And even if he leads us into things that get us into trouble with the world, it is still right with him, and he faithfully watches over us. We are on verse 6 these last couple of days, where David says, "Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I shall dwell in the house of the Lord forever." There's interesting little, nugget here in the Hebrew construction of the phraseology, "and I shall dwell in the house of the Lord." Technically, he's saying, "and I shall return to dwell in the house of the Lord forever." And it seems to be, especially when you consider what happened in David's life, right? Constant danger, constant trial, constant on the run, constant attack, constant enemies. But he seems to be understanding that his hope was never really in the safety that earth provides. His hope was in the safety that eternity will provide. He seemed to understand that life is like a box of chocolate. No, life assumes something's going to happen at some point, meaning that at some point you and I are getting out of here. At some point, that's it. And I know that causes trepidation. I know for some, that's just the last thing you want to hear. But it's the truth of the matter, man. I'm going to die. You going to die. All of God's children going to die. But that's why the gospel is such good news. That the gospel is the only remedy we know that ministers to the ills of death. And so David rejoices that even though I may go through some stuff in life, that ultimately someday will take me out. And I pray for all of us that ain't till we're 95 and billionaires. You talk me, we'll talk it up, right? But no matter what befalls us, as long as our trust and faith be in Jesus, there's hope on the other side that we shall dwell in the house of the Lord forever. What's my point? It's such a dark world. It's so hopeless sometimes. So much chaos, so much misery, so much pain. And can I get a witness that it seems like it's getting worse and worse and worse and worse? Now can you see the kindness of Jesus, who knew all of the things we'd be facing and purchased our redemption on a cross called Calvary, that when our faith be in him, regardless of what this dark world brings us, there's the light of eternity that we shall know forever and ever. I'll close with Reverend Dr. Gardner C. Taylor's words when he, in a sermon entitled "It Is Finished," dramatized what it was like when Jesus closed his eyes on the cross and woke up in glory. And he said, "Angels, herald the trumpets. The Son has come back home, and there's a day coming where you and I will crack the pearly gates, and God will say to all of the hosts of heaven, 'Sound the trumpets, my kid has come back home.'" There's a welcome that is awaiting for us that ought to help us navigate the current turbulence of life. And that's what David's celebrating in our text today. And I hope you celebrate it this weekend. And that's hope for today. I'll see you next time.